For the sugar lace, first of all boil your hot water, then measure out your 1 tablespoon of Tylus and 10 grams of CMC and mix them together. After that, you add water to it. The water just boiled. Don't forget, it has to be a boiled water. While it is still hot, you with your half cup, which is about 125 ml, you add one, and then with your 1/3 cup, which is 80 ml, you add one, bringing the total amount of water to 205 ml. Don't forget. Now when you add it, you stir very well. There's no way it will dissolve or melt immediately. All you need to do is place it, even with the lumps, on top of the boiled water. You can see my skillet is there with hot water. I'm going to place the bowl of the Tylus and CMC and then cover it. That is, I'm going to place it into the water and then cover it. While it is heating up, it is somehow dissolving at the same time. Now I have 24 grams of corn flour here, and I'm going to be using glycerin 1 teaspoon. My glucose here I'm going to be using 1 tablespoon, and some drop of white food color. I'm also going to be making use of 16 grams of icing sugar, so I'm pouring it together. The corn flour and icing sugar, I have just poured them together in a bowl. Then I'm going to be adding all the liquids. After mixing it together, then now into the icing sugar and the corn flour, I'm adding 1 teaspoon of glycerin. I'm adding 1 tablespoon of glucose. Then 2 tablespoons of water. I will now stir it together and then add my white color. If you have white, you put just a drop of it to make it whiter. Or you can use any color of your choice, but white will first of all bring it out before you can add any color to it. So putting white is very important. Next, pour the mixture into a bigger bowl. A bowl that will be able to contain hand mixer. After scraping in, then add the CMC and Tylus mixture. It has dissolved a little. Those big lumps are no more there, and that because it has been sitting there for almost 20 minutes. With your hand mixer, begin to whip. You are going to whip it for a long time. I will just allow it to whip for a long time so that you will understand that I really wasted time whipping it. It's not something that you just whip for a minute and you stop. No. This is to be able to make sure that everything is well incorporated and well combined. Then remove everything on the pins. Gather the whole thing on the bowl. Then get your mat, that is your silicone mat, the one you want to use. Sprinkle some corn flour on it. Then after, you are going to remove all the corn flour, empty it completely, heat it. There shouldn't even be a tiny sandy look of it. Just all we needed is just the chalk-like color to be sure that the corn flour touches every part. There you can see I've been able to flip out the whole thing. There's no single corn flour there. What you're seeing now is just the color nature of the corn flour. And then start applying your mixture. What I'm using is my flexible scraper to apply this. Just make sure all the holes on the mat is filled up. Now, when you go front, after some time, you can go back again to refill, to make sure that all the holes are sealed. Now I'm taking my time to make sure I did not make mistake. Now after this, I am going to place it on a tray and send it straight to my oven and allow it to stay in the oven for 15 minutes. The truth is that when you're baking this in the oven, make sure your oven is open. Don't just cover the oven, okay? The same thing I'm going to do using this other type. So when I place it in my oven, the oven will be open. I don't seal it up because it's not a cake. What I needed there is just the heat coming out from the oven so that the sugar lace will dry fast, okay? So after about 15 minutes, you place it in that oven and try, if your oven is the one that used to be very hot, try to lower it. After about 15 minutes of putting it in oven, you go and remove it. And when you bring it out, allow it to cool down at least for another 1 hour before you can start doing something like removing it from your mold. So now if you don't have oven and you want to do this, all you need to do is very simple. Immediately after this, after applying it on your mind, just leave, set it aside, allow it overnight. The next morning you will just peel it up without stress. Okay, but if you're in a hurry and a client says that it must be sugarless, what do? It has to pass through the oven. So now it is ready. You can see I placed it inside my tray before I sent it to the oven. So I had to now start removing it. So you can see how it's coming out. Very clean and very unique. So I'm still removing the second one. This is the middle one for this particular mat, and you can see all of them came out very beautifully. So this is the second one. This one now I turned it upside down, peel off from the head, and I was using my hand to press down while I'm raising the silicone mat up until everything comes out. Now look at this particular one. You will see some rose flowers like on it. You can just carve them one by one, cut them out and use it on your cake, and it will still be beautiful. So you look at the mat, the design now on top of my pink mat. Is this not lovely? Any color at all you can decide to use this on top will bring it out very unique and very lovely. So you can use all the roses one if you don't want to place your mat around the cake. Okay, so now you can still paint. I'm just showing you that you can paint with this gold, you can paint to pink, you can paint to yellow, whatever color you like you can paint. So thank you for watching. Bye.